like, unless you know how long reasonable paint prep takes, it's hard to explain, but I've just been paint prepping all the random parts and bits and pieces that I need to do, and I've got this little situation set up. I'm going to give everything a final degrease and then spray everything. Reasonable paint prep takes such a long time. It looks like some weird art installation. I was trying to work out how I was gonna weld this on and make sure it's treated. Make sure it's treated from the inside. I was trying to come up with a way to like paint this and then zinc primer and normal primer and blah blah and try to avoid things and blah blah. But what I've ended up doing, I've drilled a little hole, and the access to this hole is from the inside. So this will be completely closed off, but through this hole I'll be able to get in and treat all the edges, and then I just have a little closed grommet that just goes into the hole after I finish treating it, painting it and whatever, all epoxy primer and all kinds of stuff. I can reach all the way to here through this hole with just straws and whatever else. I'll make something up that will spray paint in all directions and just goes in, and then just a little closed grommet, and then that's it. It looks really neat from the inside, just a little closed grommet, and that's my solution. So yeah, I've decided I'm just gonna paint everything but the areas that are gonna be welded, and the same on the repair piece. Along with the repair piece, I've got a bunch of different stuff that I've been meaning to paint, and that's what we've got. Boom, boom, bam. Everything is dry now. Everything's looking good. These little bits and pieces I will explain later. This is a whole other story. I want to show you something. What I like to do with things like this, if you have a look, these were the brackets for the anti-roll bar at the back, and these are the two clips for the brake lines. And as you can see, these are completely and utterly rusted out, disgusting, and they're just shocking. Like, they're definitely not going back on a car like that. I want to show you the super easy way of restoring things like this. I'm going to make these look brand new. I'm going to take them home. I'll show you the trick that I use to make restoring things like this really easy. Let me get these in the light so you can see. So I'm back at home now. We've got these brackets that I'm going to restore, and I'm just going to give them a very quick rinse just to get the loose, disgusting stuff off, so the next stage works better. So I gave them a little rinse. One thing to note is I forgot to bring the other part of this bracket that actually holds the bushing and the actual bar in place, but they're going to get exactly the same treatment. So you just get a container, any type of container will do. You get your bog standard vinegar, just your normal white vinegar. Put it in the container of your choice. Make sure they are covered. Close that up. Give it a good stir. And that's it. And then just leave it for a few days. Forget about it. Look at these pretty flowers. And then just forget about the stuff. And come back to it when you think you're ready to check on it. Okay, so it's been about a week at this point. I've literally left this and I came back to check on it, and it didn't look like a lot was going on, so I just left it. I think it's been over a week now. It's a chemical reaction, you just have to let it do its thing. Look at that, that is crazy. So that's all the rust and all the paint and grime and whatever was left on them brackets just completely dissolved. I think I'm gonna go get some gloves, but I'm just gonna pour it out first. Boom. And look at that, that's all of the rust and all of the crust that's just come off these brackets. This is the type of thing to do when you've got plenty of time on your hands and you're just experimenting and trying things out. It's just quite an interesting thing. I think what I'm gonna do is I am gonna put them in for another soak in the vinegar and see if it can actually take even like this super deep stuff off, because it's still like really hard, and normally you can brush it off, but this stuff is just so deep. You can see if you look closely, you won't see on camera, but if you look closely, the pitting is insane. But yeah, I think I'm gonna put them in for another little soak. Okay, this demonstration hasn't worked out quite as I wanted to, because these parts that I've got soaking in this vinegar ended up being so rusty. I had to take them out, clean them off, and then put them back in 3 times because the rust was so thick. It was literally just taking ages to eat through it. Each time I've done it, it got considerably better, but I think I'm just gonna call it. I'm quite happy with it, I think, how it is. This is what the parts look like. They look really fresh now. I'm just gonna prep them for paint and put them in primer. There is one important step to do when you're soaking things in vinegar or any type of acid. You have to wash the parts off in some soda. just like your regular cooking soda or like this stuff, just whatever you got to hand. It's to neutralize the acid, otherwise it will flash rust. Yeah, literally you just wanna, just a little bit, nothing too crazy. And then just give it some water. Yeah. And look at that, fresh. And look, some of this rust that's still here just comes off. Like stuff like that, it will just flick off. But yeah. That's basically dipping parts in acid at home. Here's a little before and after. I'll show you what they look like once I paint them up as well. All the hardware I'm going to replace with all fresh nuts and bolts, and so it should look good. All is good in the hood. All the parts look nice, and considering how clean they were, I'm really happy with all of this. The main bit though is this. So the inside of it is painted. That means we are going to weld it on. The paint on the car is also dry. And let's see how the tape peels off. Let's see if this is, ooh, oh yeah, oh very nice, oh god, that's quite satisfying. This tape is a bit crappy, so it's a bit hard to peel off, but yeah, I'm just gonna take all this off. Freshly painted stuff is just yum, yum, yum. Okay, so this is the stuff that I painted. In case you're wondering what this is: hood latch plate, wiper motor plate, alternator tensioner bracket. This is a brace that goes between the gearbox, and this is just like a brace part. And this is the boy. This is the boy. So as you can see, I've got areas that are going to be welded, exposed. So this is going to go here. All of this stuff can be put away and wait until I have a big batch of stuff to paint black. So there's going to be loads of different things, loads of suspension components, loads of bits and pieces from the engine bay. I'm just going to wrap them all up, put them in a box, and have a box that is full of parts ready to be painted. So this is good. Oh, fresh primer. Yes. I have myself set up. I think this is going to be the welding operation. Areas where there was tiny gaps, I have used the screws to hold everything together. And when I'm welding this, I'm going to try and be really slow to keep the heat down. All of the paint that I tried to use to seal off everything inside, I want to keep that. I don't want to completely melt and burn everything. So I'm just going to go really slowly, take my time, weld it in, and I'll show you how it goes. I'll show you the results at the end. This feels like quite a major step to me because I've been faffing around on this for so long, so unbelievably long. Welding this in is the light at the end of the tunnel of this area. Once I weld this in, then it's the case of just making a few small repairs here and here. That's nice and straightforward and easy. And then I'm stripping this whole thing and painting it, and then that's it. And then this massive piece of work that I've been working on for so long, this whole thing is done, and then I can move down, start making the mounting points for the wing, start getting the sill off. But yeah, exciting stuff. Let's see what this turns out like. Ba-bam! It's welded up. I'm gonna give it a good wire brushing, and then we're gonna talk about it. Ba-blam. That's what it looks like after a quick wire wheel and just a little clean up. Couple of points about this. I have turned up the power on the welder to higher amperage, because this piece of metal and this piece of metal is thicker than original. Only a little bit, but it's thicker. And by turning up the thing, it's hotter and you just get better penetration. And I am super mega happy with how solid this is. These welds, if you can see how like melty they are, they've melted through this and fused everything together. I have one hole here that I have actually blew through. And that just goes to show what these welds are doing. They are properly fusing these two things together. And I've got more than needed. And I'm just, yeah, I'm 100% confident in how strong this thing is. This is like, it's 10 times stronger than it was from the factory, literally. The annoying part is I need to get to the, I need to seal everything off. It's really hard to reach areas again, and I know that it's just going to be just not fun, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to get to all the difficult to reach areas. I'm going to take my time. I'm going to go really slowly, make sure each point where the paint is melted and burnt away and whatever, everything's cleaned up, and then I'm going to sand everything down lightly, put some paint on everything. On the inside, on the outside, on the inside of the panel, because I've got that little access hole, go through there. I'm gonna make the epoxy primer really thin. I'm gonna add a little bit more thinner so it's really, so it seeps into all the nooks and crannies. Using this little contraption that I have made, which is just a syringe with a bit of tube, I am gonna get some of that thinned down epoxy, put it in here through my little access hole, and then make sure that I get epoxy all everywhere. And I'm hoping to actually see it. I'm hoping to see it come out. And if I see it come out, that means everything is sealed off. All the exposed metal surfaces are all covered, and that's what I need. Get everything covered in paint, and then later down the line, all of these joints and everything's gonna get seam sealed. And yeah, I'm happy with how this turned out. Obviously, slight potato on the welds, but they are super solid. Like, these are the meltiest welds. Like, I've never actually welded with the power turned up, and they are the meltiest welds. They have got, like, this is all now one piece of metal, and it's mega strong. And yeah, design wise, I think it looks pretty cool as well. Now I'm going to spend some time just sculpting all the stuff. Sanding, grinding down the welds, making them look a little bit better. I'm going to address all of this area here, make all of this smooth. Just get it all prepped. Just get it all prepped and nice and give it good shape. And we'll take it from there, y'all.